Today we're going to be making an Asian chicken lettuce wrap. We're going to be featuring that on our menu for this week. The first thing you want to do is you want to make your Asian slaw. So Asian slaw consists of shredded carrots, shredded cabbage, and you could use a Napa cabbage if you would like, but I just used a green cabbage today. I've got some chopped cilantro and fresh lime. So I always like to make this a day in advance and leave it in my refrigerator. I'm going to mix it up, put our shredded cabbage in the bowl. We're going to add some carrots for some crunch and color. Okay. A little bit of cilantro, chopped, always use fresh. See how pretty that looks so far. Then I've got a fresh lime. We're going to squeeze some of the lime juice in there. It's almost like a vinaigrette that you're doing, and I just put it in a bowl and mix it all together. So we're going to use the juice of the whole lime, squeeze that in there, just like that. Okay. At this point, we're going to add our rice wine vinegar. Now, rice wine vinegar tends to be really, really strong, so you want to go a little, and then you can add more if you need it. But rice wine vinegar, you can buy this at your local grocery store. Just put a little bit of that in. It's about 2 tablespoons. You don't want it soaking in the liquid. You just want enough to get it some marinated and to give it some flavor. So I've also got some honey. We're going to put about a tablespoon of honey in there. Okay. A tiny bit of salt and pepper. Okay. And what's going to happen is once this sits overnight in your refrigerator, it's going to water out a little bit. So I just like to mix it up with my hands. It's going to look pretty dry, but that's what you want. I'm going to add a little bit of white sugar in there as well. You don't have to add this. You can just go with the honey, and that'll be sweet enough. So you'll have the lime juice, which is acidic, and your honey, and we're just going to let this sit for right now. And you'll see when we come back to it that it's going to be watered out. Now we're going to start to put together our chicken and our peanut sauce. So what I've done is I've roasted some chicken thighs. You can use breasts if you would like, but all I did was put these in the oven, a little bit of salt and pepper, and let them cook until they fall apart. And you can kind of see that you can pull meat apart with your hands. You can also use chicken breasts for this. I like to use thighs. It tends to stay much more tender and more flavorful. But I just kind of break the chicken up with my hands, like you're doing a pulled chicken. And then we're going to let that sit, and we're going to start to make our sauce. And then we're going to add the chicken into the sauce. And you could make the chicken in advance. You could roast this the day before. You're going to serve them, and just leave it in the refrigerator. Be sure to drain the liquid out of it, and then the next day you can cool it and you can add it to your sauce. So now we're going to make our sauce. This is a peanut sauce. A little bit of oil in the pan. I have some fresh chopped garlic here that I'm going to add. Let that brown a little bit. Then we're going to add the rest of our ingredients. You don't want it to burn. Garlic tastes very bitter. You just want to lightly cook it. And you can add as much garlic as you like, or as little garlic as you like. And you can see in the can that it's starting to brown and get crispy there. See how that's getting brown? Okay. At this point, I'm going to turn my heat off just for a minute. We're going to add the rest of our ingredients. So, soy sauce, about a half cup of soy sauce. You can use a low sodium soy sauce if you'd like. You can see that kind of coming together there. And we're going to add about 3 tablespoons of peanut butter. this is going to be the base of our sauce. And when it's all put together, then we're going to add our chicken. Turn that heat back on again. Just kind of let that simmer together and just give it a good stir. Sometimes it's best to use a whisk. Keep your temperature turned down. Alright, a little bit of honey in there. And a little bit of sriracha if you like it spicy. And you can make it as spicy as you would like or as mild as you would like. So just want to give that a good stir. It should start to come together. It should be thick, almost a ketchup consistency. Okay. See how that looks. It's going to coat the spoon. Turn my heat back on a little bit. Now I'm going to add the chicken. So I've got my pulled chicken here. We're going to put that in the pan. It smells delicious. Put that on low heat. Just stir that up. All right. See how that came together? Perfect. Now we're going to put together our wraps. So now we're ready to assemble our lettuce wraps. And these should be served immediately. And what I've got is some bib lettuce. It's also called butter lettuce. You buy it in the grocery store. It's got little roots on the bottom. It usually keeps in your refrigerator for up to 5 days. You can see it's kind of still growing. So this is a nice lettuce. It's easy to use in a wrap. It doesn't tear apart. So I like to pick some of the outer leaves off. You can see that's a nice leaf there. Some of the bigger leaves. And if they're smaller leaves, I just kind of put two together to make a wrap. Sit it on our plate like that. And then we're going to add our chicken. So I like to put the chicken in the center so when your guest goes to pick it up, it's easy to wrap and put in your mouth. So we're going to put our chicken on there, just like that. Let's see how I kind of left it in the center of the lettuce leaf. And there's some more. I usually serve about two lettuce wraps for an order. What I've got here is some white and black sesame seeds. You can toast those if you like. Sprinkle those on top. Now we're going to serve that with our Asian salt that we made earlier. You can see as it sat, it kind of watered out a little bit, which is really what you want. You don't want it soggy, you want it nice and crisp. So we're going to put a little bit of that in our bowl. I always like to serve that on the side, but you don't have to. Onions on if you would want to do that. You can use scallions. You could put on some red pepper, diced red pepper if you'd like. And use some green onion today. Sprinkle that on top. And it's ready to serve to your guests. Our Asian lettuce chicken wraps.